How's it going, everyone? Nick here from Girified.com, and in today's video we're looking at New World, the new game from Amazon Game Studios, and checking out crafting. Okay, we've loaded into the game and we are in the kind of center of town, and most of the time there are the crafting districts in every center. And in every settlement, as you can see, if you zoom in close enough, you can actually see what's available inside of these towns. When you hover over each of these, it will show you what they are. So we've got a forge, which will craft melee weapons and heavy armor. We've got a wood shop, which refines wood. We've got the smelter, which refines metal, silver, and similar items. We've got the workshop, which crafts ranged weapons and trinkets, trinkets being like necklaces and I believe earrings and rings. We've got stone cutting table, which is for stone as well as gem cutting. You have your storages. These storage units are per settlement. So when I zoom out, you can see when I click on the settlement, or when I hover over the settlement, it's actually got view settlement storage. So this is all of my storage that I have in this particular settlement. But if I go to another one and click on settlement storage, you'll see it's changed. So I know that I've actually got some gear and some utilities, as well as a decent amount of resources there. The current settlement that I'm in is in Windsword. Is that even how you say it? We are in Windsword Hamlet. Okay. We have inside of Windsword Hamlet, this is my storage here. So I've only just moved to this area, so I don't actually have a lot more in here. However, it doesn't stop us from checking out what's available in the crafting sections. Continuing on from our storage, you actually have a arcane repository which crafts potions, tinctures, and magical items such as your weapons, your staves, so like fire and life staff. The marketplace, which trading posts, which you don't really need to worry about at the moment, but it is something to keep in mind. The loom, which is for refining fibers and cloth. The outfitting station for crafting light and medium armor, as well as jewelry. So I think the trinkets, there are several that you can craft there, but there are also jewelry that you can craft here, which may be the earrings and the rings. You've got the tannery for refining raw hide and leather, and then you've got the kitchen for cooking various meals. So if you press K or go into your menu in terms of your character screen, you will see your trade skills here. You'll have all of your crafting skills, all of your refining skills, and all of your gathering skills. When you start in the new game, you will have all of these at 0, and the game basically levels up as you do them. So if you've played Elder Scrolls in general, Elder Scrolls Online, or majority of other games, MMOs, the more you do them, the more they level up. In today's video, we're going to go over each of these individually. So let's start with weaponsmithing. I'm only level 4 in weaponsmithing, but it's also because I haven't really been focusing on it. You can see straight away what type of things you can craft as you level up through weaponsmithing. You can see the type of materials it requires. So this requires iron ingots, looks like wood, planks, as well as leather. And then as you get higher, you can see the types of materials that are required. You can see the type of weapons that you can potentially craft as a weaponsmith, and most of these and all of these are performed at the forge. So if you really need to figure out where things are, there are two ways. You can go to the forge and sift through the content that's there, which I'll do now, or you can click K, go into your trade skills, and actually check where it's suggested to create this particular item. So it's performed at the weaponsmith. Now, one thing to note is that you do need to be aware of the gear score. So we've walked down to the forge here, and this particular forge has been leveled up to tier 3. Depending on which settlement you're in will determine which forge is actually available. In some towns, the forge may be level 2 or tier 2, and you won't be able to craft tier 3 items. So keep that in mind when you're going to particular towns. You can see that my weaponsmithing level at the top here is 4, my armoring is 7. So I can potentially create and craft items depending on the forge station level as well as the armoring skill level. If I go back, I can check the weapon type as well. I can see the forge station tier 2, but I also can see that the weaponsmithing skill needs to be level 20. So if I really wanted to, I could potentially make this tier 3 steel straight sword if I had the right ingredients and the right materials. So it's up to you trying to understand what it is that you want and figuring out how to get to those items. So I usually jump into this section and then I see what I need. So I need level 20. I need those particular items underneath them. But the only small pet peeve for the beta or for the preview at the moment is I can't click and then hover on the item and see what is required. I have to actually go to the forge, and if I don't know what the item looks like, I know here it says steel ingot, rugged leather, lumber, and other. So pinning recipes is such a great way in order to see what resources and materials you are required to gather in order to craft the equipment and the items that you're looking for. They'll actually show up in your journal. So if you have quests, if you have faction missions, town projects, and recipes, you can actually pin the recipes to your journal, and then it will show up not only on your HUD, but if you press J and go, or escape and go into journal, you can see it in recipes down here, and it will show you as a mission item, this is what you need to get or collect. So I need to get my iron ingots, which I've got enough of. I need to get coarse leather, which I can be refined at a tannery tier 2, and I can get timber, which is refined at carpentry tier 2. So they're things to keep in mind when you're looking at going through and making and crafting your items. The thing to note as well is that the higher the tier of item, the higher the level you'll need, but also the higher gathering skill that you'll need to get those items. As an example, you can see in gathering what level you require in order to get certain resources and materials. So for iron, you can get straight away. Silver, you require level 15. Oil is level 20. But then the next level of that is tracked at. So once I hit level 25 in mining, I can actually track iron ore, and it will show up on my HUD at the top as these little symbols underneath. So when you're looking in the map, you'll see on my screen at the moment, at the very top, I've got this little turkey symbol. So if I go towards that section, I'll be able to find a turkey. Now, depending on your level on different gathering skills, you will see different items. So another one here has just popped up. So that there is for nuts, which I'm pretty sure will be on the bottom here. Oh, that was cranberries. Also nuts here. And then there's the turkey. So that's the basics of weapon smithing. You can look into each of the individual crafting types and see what is on offer. For armoring, you can see explorer boots, soldier boots, duelist shoes, trousers, soldier greaves, adventurer's satchel, explorer gloves, and each of these have a different tier up to level 50 and beyond. You'll see what gear score bonus you can achieve with these different tiers, as well as where these are performed at to craft. And as you level up your different crafting skills, you can actually unlock a better skilled gear, which again, it's just like most MMOs, you can jump in and do what you need and when you need it. Engineering comes with the bow and arrow, as well as your gathering tools and the musket. And these can be done at the workshop and the forge. Majority of these items can be done at the workshop, and the iron arrows and the bow are the two that I tend to create the most, which is why my level is level 13. Jewel crafting is something I haven't really touched yet, but it's also because it requires silver and certain gems, and I've only just started finding silver a little bit more, as well as gems. So something I'll dive into a little bit later, but it has a similar premise as all the other crafting abilities. You perform it at a certain station, you level it up as you use it, and you'll unlock new and more rewarding trinkets and jewels as you go. Arcana is another one that I haven't really touched. However, it is for potions and bandages, as well as for some of the crafting weapons like staves. You can actually create fire staves, and you can create life staves at the arcane repository. Cooking is one that I've spent the most time on. It is something that is kind of easy to do. You can collect a lot of this as you're just traveling and exploring around the world, and then you come back and you can just start cooking everything. And it's not until recently that I've started understanding what each of these particular items and cooks do. You can actually have things that are for warding, for health increase and decrease, mana recovery, health recovery, defense recovery. So depending on what style you want to play, you can actually craft items to help you with that journey. There are also gathering boosts as well, which increases luck chance of finding something more high or getting more resources from a particular item. So we've got mining increase, health recovery, mana recovery, defense recovery, Lost Wards, Corrupted Wards, Beast Wards, Engineering, Armoring, Arcana, Skinning, Ancient Wards, Dual Crafting, Weaponsmithing, Logging, Harvesting, Angry Earth Wards, and all of the dyes that are available currently. So it is up to you which ones you want to try and increase. Again, I've mainly focused on cooking and engineering as the two because I've been doing bow and arrow work a lot more. And then furnishing is something that I have yet to touch because I haven't really had a need to look into it for the bed. But if we go to the workshop, we can actually check that out. So the workshop is here and it's a tier 2, and we can actually jump in and see what is required for each of the beds, each of the furniture types. So there are actually beds, there are bookcases, cabinets, and small furnishings as well, like stools and shelves and lights. So I think the player housing can do really well in the game, and it's something that I think will just be like an aesthetic thing, but it'll also be something really cool to have ongoing. So it's a piece of furniture to place in a house. You need lumber, solvent, and iron ingots. So I've pretty much got all of that except the lumber at the moment, and requires a workstation tier of tier 1. Furnishing is something I'll probably look into a little later. I just wanted to experience everything else that the game had to offer first, and then if I get to a stage, maybe purchase a in-game house and actually start to furnish that as well, if there's time left. One thing I haven't gone over yet is the refining. So refining is once collecting those resources, you would then refine them at these particular locations. So you can create charcoal ingots and precious ingots at the smelter. You can create timber, lumber, and other types of planks at the workshop. You can create coarse leather, rugged leather, layered leather, and infused leather at the tannery. And in weaving, linen, sateen, silk, infused. I gotta look up how to say that. At the loom. And then in the stone cutting, you can actually craft stone blocks, but also all of the individual gems, which I've started to do a bit more of. Whoa, it's one of the skills. The rock is running around. So that's the basics of crafting in a nutshell. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know if there's something that you think I could explore a bit further, and how it could actually do better with the game. Thanks for watching the video. I'm Nick from Gearified.com. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will catch you next time.